Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharmalan. You guys can call me Sham. Thank you. Some of you would have seen me in Facebook. Some of you would have read my blog. You have seen my comments. Today I'm going to talk about something which we normally don't see in books, we don't see in the internet. This is something which you need someone from the inside to give an explanation. Now the reason why I brought this topic is because there's a lot of misunderstanding about the Indian race itself. People think that Indians means is a same group of people with the same mother tongue and we all came from the same tribe. That's not true. India simply means someone from India, right? It's a politically constructed race. It's actually the nationality of our ancestors. And of course, those from Sri Lanka call themselves Ceylonese simply because Sri Lanka was known as Ceylon. So Ceylonese and Indian are actually the nationality of our ancestors. So when we came to Malaya, it became our race. Another misconception which many people have is that all Indians speak Tamil. That's not right. There are hundreds of languages in India. Apart from Tamil, the major groups we have here in Malaysia are the Punjabis. They are from Punjab. We have the Gujaratis. We have the Telugus who are actually from Andhra Pradesh. Andhra got split into Andhra and Telangana. And we have the Malayalis from Kerala. Now we will zoom in to the Tamils, which I'm from, and I'm more comfortable talking about that. And I will explain why the Tamils themselves are not a single tribe society. We are not a homogeneous society. We are a mix of various tribes. Now this is the regions where Tamil is spoken. So in Malaysia, if anyone says that Tamil is their mother tongue, they are from the Tamil community, then their native village is from one of those green areas. Of course, we do have some settlements in the border areas of Kerala, like in the Idukki district or in Palakkad. In Karnataka South, we have Kolar, and in Andhra South, we have Chittoor, but I did not highlight that. So I'm just focusing on this. Now, in Malaysia, we have another group of people who call themselves the Ceylonese people. From Ceylon. Most of them are actually from the northern parts of Sri Lanka known as Jaffna. Whereas the Indians, we have several groups. Some are from Ramnath, which is known as Ramanathapuram, which is the south. And some are from Madurai, some are from the Tanjavur region, and some are from the northern parts like Tiruvannamalai, Kanchipuram, and Chennai. Now, although we speak the same language, we have different customs, we have different practices, and interestingly what many people don't know about the Tamil community is, like the Minangkabau people, we have 18 matrilineal clans among the Tamils, which means inheritance is on the woman's side and not on the man's side. Okay, the other picture seems to be missing, but if you look at this, it shows the rivers in Tamil Nadu. One of the major rivers, Kaveri, it starts in Karnataka, cuts across certain districts in Tamil Nadu, and ends at the Bay of Bengal. Now, why I'm showing you this picture is because the Kaveri River is actually a very important river. The culture of the Tamil people on the other side of the Kaveri River, which is the northern part, and those in the southern part, is not the same. Now, most of those matrilineal societies come from the southern part. Now, I remember seeing in National Geography, I think some of you would have remembered, Spencer Wells did a genetic research. And then he found out that there is one guy called Virumandi Thevar from Madurai district, who has been who's descended from a group of people who have been living in India for 70,000 years. I think some of you would have seen that. Now that guy comes from a clan known as the Kiranmalai Kallas, and they are matrilineal, which means the inheritance is on the mother's side. Now, the Tamil clans, we call our clans as Kulam, which means that all those who speak Tamil as a language, you can group them into clans. And each clan is unique, it has its own practice. They come from different regions. And I think just now David, he mentioned that he went to China, he saw his ancestral temple. Similarly, we have that too, which means each lineage is associated with a particular temple. So we have this, our patron deity, everyone worships the same deity, it inherits it. It's something which we inherit from father to son or on the mother side as well. Now, present day, if you look at, I'll focus on Tamil Nadu because I don't want to focus much on Sri Lanka because there'll be too many things there. Now, if you look at Tamil Nadu's official list right now, they have about over 300 clans. If you were to read back all those ancient literatures in Tamil Nadu, there were probably less than 20 clans. So these expanded into 300, but this 300 itself is actually not the complete one, because what they did for in the government list is that they even listed down the sub-clans. Why they do that in India is because in India they have reservation system, and the reservation is according to the clan, which are the castes actually. So they have their own caste quota and everything, and because some want to have more benefits, what they do is that one clan they split to 3-4 different sub-clans and they put it in the list, saying that okay, we are also a different clan, but they're actually the same. So if we were to regroup these 300 clans back into the proper order, there will probably be less than 100 clans. Now many people think that this clan thing or this caste thing is very, very specific only to the Hindus, which is not true. In India, even the Muslims and Christians, they maintain their clan identity. You can even see that in Malaysia. You can see a lot of Malayalis, they would have converted to Christianity, but they will still put the word Nayar behind their name. So this is not something which was invented by Hinduism. It's not something which has got to do with the religion. It's something which evolved naturally. Among the famous Muslim clans we have is like the Rautar and the Maraikaya. The Maraikayas, they are also around in Malaysia. You can see quite a lot of Malays, they'll have the name American behind the name. The word American actually comes from Maraikaya. It's actually a corruption of this word, which means that those Malays who have the word American behind their name, their ancestors are actually these Maraikayas. And Maraikayas are normally from southern part of Tamil Nadu, which is the Ramnad district. Okay, now I was mentioning about matrilineal and patrilineal clan. There's actually two lineage systems. One is the paternal one, and another is the one on the mother's side. Now on the father's side, generally if you see like surnames, it's inherited from the father's side. The ancestral temples are inherited on the father's side. Now the matrilineal clan is basically the mitochondrial DNA, which I think she was explaining earlier, and the other one is the Y DNA. We just gave it names. Now on the matrilineal side, what we call the lineage is, we call it as kilate, which means that it comes from the mother. It comes from mother to daughter. So if I were to trace back my kilate, it goes back to my mother, her mother, her mother. So it's the female ancestry. Whereas the paternal one is actually the male ancestry. And generally, if you look at Tamils, we have two cousins, two ways of classifying our cousins. One is the parallel cousins, the other one is the cross cousins. Parallel cousins are your father's brother's children and your mother's sister's children. You can't marry them. But your cross cousins, who are your father's sister's children and your mother's brother's children, they are the cross cousins, and you can marry them. So even if you follow the matrilineal system, if you look at the female side, assuming that I inherit kilate from my mother, she and her sisters will share the same kilate, which means her sister's children and me will have the same female ancestry. So we can't marry. So if you were to look on the father's side, I would have inherited a surname from my father. My father and his brothers will have the same surname, and their children will have, and me will have the same surname. So I can't marry them too. So that's why we actually have this system. Now the fact that there are two systems shows that the Tamils did not come from the same tribe. Like you see, if we all descended from a common tribe, then we'll either be following at the father's side or the mother's side. We won't be following the mother's side like what the Minangkabaus are doing. So this happened because one there are many tribes which entered India at different point of time. Two, certain tribes after some time, they became like the royal tribes. And when you are royalty, you will have to intermarry with people from other kingdom. You can't be so specific that you only want to marry your own race. So that's how those people follow the patrilineal ones. But those who maintain their original clay, they stick to their matrilineal one. But there's one exceptional case, which is actually the royal family of Ramnath. The royal family of Ramnath follows both. Because the royal family of Ramnath considers themselves as descendants of the son lineage on the male side. And they also have killings from the mother. So in the case where if a king dies without a heir, his sister's son will inherit the throne and not his brother's children. They have a different system over there. The next one, which I'm going to explain, is perhaps why many people got interested in this topic. Do the Tamil people have surnames or not? The answer is yes, we have surnames. It's just that lately, in the last 100 years, we are not using our surnames. Like the Europeans, like the Chinese, we do have surnames. There are two types of surnames. One is a common surname shared by everyone in the clan, which means irrespective of how you are related to each other, you have a common titular surname. The other one is paternal surnames. For example, if you look at the paternal surname, which have like Vandayar or Manavarayar, a person who has a Vandayar surname cannot marry another person with a Vandayar surname because they come from the same lineage. Whereas in the case of the shared title surname, a person with another surname can marry another person with another surname because that is more of a shared surname. Now the reason why we are not using our surname is because one, they believe that it's showing the caste, so they do not want to use it. Now the second reason, which is actually one of the main reasons why they don't want to use it, is because for the last 100 years we had a political movement among the Tamils, the Dravidian political movement, and the Dravidian political movement eradicated all the surnames because they say that why do you want to use surnames? You are all you shouldn't be using surnames. Let's not differentiate ourselves with surnames and destroy it. And the reason they gave was because it's showing your caste, but the actual reason is the Dravidian movement was initiated by non-Tamils in Tamil Nadu. So, you see, in India, only someone from that particular state can become the chief minister over there. Like if you go to Kerala, and if you're not a Malayali, you won't get voted as a chief minister. Similarly, in Andhra, if you're not a Telugu-speaking man, you won't get voted as a chief minister. And what shows whether you're a Telugu or a Malayali is actually your surname. So in Tamil Nadu, when they removed the surname, people actually don't know who's the Malayali, who's the Tamil one, and that is why you had non-Tamils ruling the states because nobody knows their surname. Now, some people will say that Tamils never had surnames, we never used surnames. But we actually have a concrete evidence in this country itself to show that we Tamils at one point of time were using surname. And they are actually the Malacca Chetty community. You look at the Malacca Chetty community, they migrated here 500 years ago. And all of them carry surnames. Although they intermarried with the locals, they intermarried with the Javanese or the Malays, they are still using their surnames. You can see surnames like Pillai, Kona, Padayachi among the Malacca Chetty. Because the Malacca Chetty Tamils, who are actually Tamils from South India, migrated during the Malacca period, they migrated at a time where the Dravidian movement was not there. They migrated at a time where the British were not asking anyone to put son off or daughter off in documents. So they retained that surname. So they are actually a living proof that the Tamils at one point of time were actually using surnames. Alright, now we have about 22 to 30 clans in Malaysia, Tamil clans. 16 have official associations. Some group themselves in larger groups. Some go specific to their clan groups. So these are some of the clans which we have in Malaysia. And I'll give you one example of this Arnatu Velada. This Arnatu Velada are Velada of 6 Nadu means is something like a district or a mukim. So Arnatu Velada, these guys are from Chidambaram, which is the eastern part of Tamil Nadu. They actually have 35 lineages. I only captured 17 here. Now if you look at this, each lineage has a name. Each lineage has a patron deity, which is the ancestral temple. And that temple is located in specific villages. So, for example, if you look at some surnames here, they will not marry someone who has the same lineage name. because it means that they descended from the same ancestor. So this is literally like their family names. If they want to reuse the family names in the future, this is some of the reference they can go back to. Now the Arunachal Vellalar are one of the 100 Vellalar groups we have among the Tamils. The Vellalars are one of the 100 clans which we have among the Tamils. So if you can see so many lineage temple names, lineage names in just one fraction of the Tamil society. Now imagine how many surnames the Tamils would have. What I counted was there are 1,135 surnames among the Tamil people. It's just that we are not using it. Alright, I'll open it up. If you guys got any questions, please ask me.
Question. Just wondering, you mentioned that at some point Tamils in Malaysia do not use their surname anymore. Any thoughts as to why that happened?
Alright, see what happened was when the Indians migrated out of India, when they went to different countries, different systems were used. If you look at the Tamils who went to South Africa or Tamils who went to Fiji, the moment they landed in the port 200 years ago, they were required to list down what their surname is. They were required to state it. And that is why until today, if you go to Fiji or you go to South Africa, you look at the Tamils, they don't have Anna Lucky or son of or daughter of. They actually use their surnames. You can see surnames like Pillai, you can see surnames like Gounder behind their names. And in Malaysia, that was not practiced. That is one thing. When we came here, the British did not practice that. They made us use Anna Lucky and Anna Perempuan. The second thing is that the Dravidian political movement had a strong presence in Malaysia. Because the Dravidian movement was also involved in uplifting oppressed people and so on. So their presence, and given the fact the majority of Indians in Malaysia were living in the estates and everything, that political ideology became very strong over here. And that is why surnames became uncommon in Malaysia. Yes?
So following to her question, the use of patronymics is exclusive to Tamils in Malaysia and maybe southern India, because like the northern Indians, they use family names, right?
Yeah. See, family names, we also have family names. Like for example, this guy sitting over here, his family name is Muvaraya. And there are inscriptions dating back to 600 years which shows that his ancestor has done certain contribution to certain temples. Now, we have both family names and shared clan names. Just like in India, in the rest of India. Like rest of India, you may see some surnames like Shetty, which is a shared clan name. You may see some specific Punjabi surnames like Jasal, like Dio, or Gil. These are all specific family names. We have that too among the Tamils. It's just that we are not using it.
So it's not manifested in your documents, your personal documents?
Initially, when people migrated here, they carried the surnames in their birth certificate, but they discontinued for their children. Because of the practice of Anna Lucky and Anna Perempuan, they just put the father's name and they discontinued the practice.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Sharmalan, I am Mr. Nadarajin Raja from the Chitti community. I agree to what you say that the Chitti from 600 years have carried the clan name. And today we still carry, even though we are close to Tamil. And only the question that I'd like to ask you. Today I'm a Raja, my clan, but I don't know where I come from in India. Whether from Southern or from the Telugu side. But according to my father, I'm a Naidu Raja. So Naidu Raja, I think he came from Telugu side. Because look at during my wedding time, a Naidu, when they get married, when they want to tie a tali, they have to take the iron tundu and close it. After that, they can tie the tali. Other my clan, like Pillai, Mudalia, they doesn't do that way. So I'm thinking in which part of India I come. And according to you, that the temple have their own clan to look after is right, because we still practice that way. And but we pass over to the one called the temple name Sri Waidam Ayurveda Temple as well.
Now, in the case of the Malacca Chettis, what I'm guessing is this. You migrated about 500 to 600 years ago. 500 to 600 years ago, there were no Pandyas, there were no Cholas, there were no Pallavas. Who ruled Tamil Nadu or the South India at that time were the Vijayanagaras. The Vijayanagaras were actually feudatories of Kannada and Telugu origin, who fought against the Mughal occupation. You know, the Mughals occupied Tamil Nadu for about 48 years. So they came down and overthrow them, and they merged the entire South India, which is Andhra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, into one nation called Vijayanagara. Then they broke it into different military camps, which they call as Palayam. And then from there they appoint people to rule this place. Now, why I believe that yours came from South India, most probably Tamil Nadu or the northern parts of Tamil Nadu, is because when you came here, you did not come here one by one. You came here in a batch. And take a look at the surnames in your community. You have Pillai, you have Padayachi, you have Kona, you have Pattar, and then you have Raja, you also have Chitti. So these are all southern surnames, which are very peculiar to Tamil Nadu itself. So the Naidu community, 500 years ago, did migrate to Tamil Nadu. You know, they were originally in the Tungabhadra region near Andhra. Then they migrated down to Tamil Nadu. So when you all came here, you carried the surnames, right? And you also carried your clan gods, your individual practice, and things like that. So your surname actually shows that you're from the southern part of Tamil Nadu. What I'm guessing, it could be from the Tanjavur region, or it could be from the Chennai region. Not south as in the Ramnath side or Thoothukudi side. It's not over there. It's most probably, when I say Tanjavur, I'm also including Nagapattinam, and I'm also, when I say Chennai, I'm also including Kanchipuram or Tirunelveli side, because that's where the ports were at the time. So these are the regions where you would have come from, your ancestors.
According to the history, they say they came from Kalinga.
Okay, see, Kalinga means Orissa. Alright, Orissa is up in the north. Why they call as Kalinga, even the word Kaling, why is it used to it on Indians is because the Kalinga Empire at one point in time covered the whole of India and everything, it became common to associate the whole of India as Kalinga. In fact, India was known as Benua Kaling, although the whole of India was not under the Kalinga Empire. So when you all migrated from India to Malacca at that time, when people ask your ancestors where they came from, they would have just said they came from Benua Kaling, which is Kalinga. Now there's the same misconception happened with the word Bengali. You know, the Punjabis, they are not Bengalis. Bengali means Bengalis, from Bengal. Punjab is on the other side of India. Why they are called as Bengali is simply because those days they came from the port in Bengal. So when they came here and people ask them, who are you? They say, oh, I'm from Bengal port. Bengali. So they say, okay, these are all Bengalis. So that's how that Kaling word or that Kalinga tag would have got stuck with you. But I can assure you, Pillai, Kona, Padayachi are not Kalingan surnames. They are Tamil surnames and they are from southern part. No, that's not possible. You see, many people think that Rajaraja Chola came here and created the Kada civilization, as though he came here, ate nasi lemak and went back home. That's not true. Rajaraja Chola was born in the 10th century, which is around 980 AD. The Kada artifact is 2nd century, which means there's an 800-year gap between Kada and Rajaraja Chola. The Cholas did not create the Kada civilization. The Cholas attacked the Kada civilization twice in the 11th century AD. So we did not come here during the Kada. Our ancestors would have come here with the army, but they went back. They did not create the civilization here. We came here, me came here about 200 years ago, my family. Your family would have come here 500 years ago, not during the Kada times. Okay. Malayalam would have had some influence of Tamil in the past, in the distant past, 2000 years ago, or even 1000 years ago. In fact, at one point in time, they were also using the same writing script up to the 17th century. What happened was, I believe in the 17th or 16th century, there was this missionary known as Constantine Beshi. I think he's the one. He reformed the Tamil script, and we are using the reformed version. So there's a split in the script. In Malayalam, when someone speaks Malayalam, if you're a Tamilan, you can understand this one, because we had a common linguistic ancestor at one point in time. But eventually the language split. Same thing goes to Tamil. We would have also had influence from other languages. Not necessarily that everything was invented by us. Even today when we speak in Tamil, we are including a lot of English words, we are including a lot of Portuguese words, like mesa. Mesa is a Portuguese word, which refers to the table. So that could have also happened, and this is how the languages split. But there are a lot of Tamil tribes who, on the Malayalam side, they speak Malayalam. Like one example is Ilavar. Ilavar is a clan, but the Ilavars of Kerala speak Malayalam. The Ilavars of Tamil Nadu speak Tamil. So that happens.
Thank you.